We're live, Tommy.
Here we go.
Holy cow, it's been forever.
It's been a bit.
Yeah, the last thing you said was, if England calls, don't answer.
Right. The Brits.
The Brits, and that was
London
bad.
calling.
London calling.
Of course, we had the wedding, Ryan and Tia's wedding. And,
Phenomenal time.
That was a great time. And shout out to my brother Mark. He got Bullwinkle yesterday. 9-pointer. Awesome.
Bullwinkle was a moose.
Yes, it was, but we nicknamed that
Okay,
because of
'cause
the
that was a deer.
rack. No
Ooh,
pun intended.
Rack, wow.
So Mark, he's been looking at that. It's been on his trail cam. It's been teasing him. And Mark got him yesterday with his bow and arrow. And
Well, I'd hardly call it a bow and arrow. It looks like a weapon of mass
well, it
destruction.
is, but the hunters like to call it a bow and arrow.
Nah, that's right. Congratulations, Mark.
And that's about it from news and notes of the day.
Yeah, not much. We've been absent. There's been a wedding,
Right.
And things have been going on. I sit home a lot, but I'm lonely. So we're gonna talk to Bills now.
Play tonight.
The big thing that's been talking around. They play tonight. Today's Monday, whatever the 13th, and we're playing Denver. And before we get into what we think about this game, I want to talk a little bit about what everybody's talked about. Right? How can the Buffalo Bills offense look almost unstoppable at times, and also be the last 5 games we've lost 3 of them. You look at the stats, expected points added, all this stuff. We're right near the top. Josh has the highest QBR ranking of any quarterback. Okay, that's not a joke. The highest one. QBR is a little different than the quarterback ranking. It takes a little bit, it weighs things differently. However, and yet we've lost 3 games, 2 of them to teams we never should have lost.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ask what's going on. So I've been reading a lot of things, looking at a lot of things. Tom, you and I brought this up. Now, I don't know if it was on the show because it's been a while. One thing we've talked about is the defense is so decimated that even if we do stop somebody on a drive, they're kicking from the 50 and pinning us between, below our own 15-yard line. And so we got horrible drive starts, all right? That's number one. So now you got to go 85 yards, 80 yards, whatever, without making a mistake, all right? That's number one. Number two, you and I have talked about how the run game is kind of an afterthought. Now, we were looking at, everybody wants to blame Josh. We all agree that this is a multi-pronged issue. We got the coordinator, we got Josh, we got a running game, you can go on and on. I think we also have a head coach that likes to meddle, okay? Run even if it's not working, run on first down. Well, our first down runs last game got an average of 1 yard, okay? Our first down passes, 9 yards. So, if it's not working. So anyway, I went out and I was looking for something, and there was a guy out there. He's national, and he took the film of the last 5 games of the Bills. What he said, and we can talk about this because I don't agree with all of it. What he said was this: EPA means extra points added, and EPA very quickly means if you start on your 15, your EPA is going to be real low because it's real hard to score. If you start at midfield, your EPA is going to be high because it's easier to score from the 50. However, EPA is nothing more than an estimate. It's a projection. He said the Bills' EPA is fantastic, but their actual points are poor. And what does that mean? He said, well, first of all, starting below the 15. You start that deep in your own zone, it's hard to go the whole way. Secondly, they're missing field goals or not doing field goals in plenty. And thirdly, he said the Bills' run game, now I don't know, I'd have to really look into this. He said the Bills' run game is actually a joke and fundamentally flawed. He says they run out of the shotgun, they refuse to get under center. He goes, they run the same 5 plays and they're not working. And he said he believes it's the run system, it's not the running back, it's not the line. He believes that A, running out of the shotgun all the time, B, which happens on some teams anyway, and B, the kind of runs they do. They're very delayed, and the blocking up front is different. So he really believes that the Bills have what they should have. They have a good running game, but they're not. Their scheme is not good. Again, we can argue that, but something's going wrong when you're losing to teams we're losing to, with And we know the defense is hurting. I'm not going to scream at the D. We got guys in there that are third stringers. So what do you think about all
Well,
that?
there's a lot to unravel. First off, two of the highest scoring teams in the league were Miami and Kansas City. They also have dropped off of late with offensive production. But with the Bills, a team we watch a lot,
I would agree with that.
the Bills, their defenses, we could not sustain the losses of Daquan Jones and Matt Milano.
No.
Tre'Davious White hurt a lot, but
But we had backups there.
those two guys. Okay, we didn't have fill-ins for them. They chose in the offseason to go away from Tremaine Edmonds.
Right.
We've been up and down that, but you and I have said from the very beginning we thought it was a bad move.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is coming back. This defense is coming back to bite them. This defense is built on two linebackers that can play 3 downs. We don't have them anymore.
No more.
Okay? Bills decided to go in a different direction. 43 is a good player, and I'm going to butcher his name, so I'll just call his number.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back at his career, which I was not aware of, he's been hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And I think the reason behind it...
It's 224.
Well, and you brought up, too, that linebackers in the league are smaller. He's a smaller guy that plays very, very hard.
Very hard. Puts his head in there and
He
holds.
does. And he, even in college, he didn't play whole seasons and whole games. Him out is a huge loss for us.
Yeah.
Anyways, we don't have a replacement for him. When you look at the Bills' stats, right? Bills' time of possession is low because when we do get the ball and we don't do much with it because we're on our 5 and we're limited to what we can do, we're giving the ball back.
Right.
We don't get the ball a whole lot, and I don't remember the numbers now; they escape me. But you look at the few times.
Well, Cincinnati, we had 8 drives, 2 turnovers, so we had 6 potential scoring drives.
And so
Not enough.
No, and you got a D that's getting kind of beat up.
And even when they don't score, to your point, they're getting first downs
Right.
all the way down the field, and then they punt or they lose that.
and they're taking time off the
a lot
clock
of
and
time.
stuff.
Yeah.
And we've gotten very small on D, and now we're at the point we're playing 7 DBs,
Yeah.
6 DBs.
Yeah.
Teams see that and they're going to pound at it. So when they base statistics on the story, but each week the Bills are playing a team. Now Denver's going to have a whole different game plan for us tonight.
Yeah, they will.
And they focus differently on us. I think the bottom line with a lot of it is they talk about weapons, and you and I both said that the kid in Houston, what weapons does he have?
Yeah,
He carved up,
C.J. Stroud is carving teams up with guys I've never heard of.
and you heard about confusing rookies and stuff. He's a talented kid. He was first overall. So is
Second.
Josh.
Second overall.
Okay, so is Josh, but there's something missing in Josh's
Thanks,
game.
Carolina,
too.
by the way, for another quarterback in
Well,
the AFC.
but there's something missing in Josh's game too. The the pick he threw the other night against Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's just he had no chance.
He had a wide open guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the play calling, they throw the bomb down the field to DeAndre Hardy,
Mm-hmm.
and then they
No
come back with a run.
separation and a bad pass.
I don't get some of that. Then when we're under the stress, we seem to march down the field and move the ball well. And the Kincaid fumble, obviously against Cincinnati, was a killer.
Yeah.
Not knocking it. Just
They I love the kid. They punched the hell out of it in
that,
midair.
kudos to them too.
Nothing he could have done.
Kudos to them. But I think it's something in Josh's head. One, his lack of running has hurt our team a bit.
Yeah, we've talked about
We
that.
need Josh to be more mobile in the pocket. He
and
wasn't.
slide and go out of bounds, but get out of that pocket and run.
It was the leaping over the safety and the linebacker we were all concerned about. But having said all of that, he's cut back his running and he's hurt.
Yeah, hurt anyway. Shoulder.
So, to build up the running game, if indeed McDermott, the same rumblings we're hearing were there with Dable.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
The running game. Well,
By the way, statistics under Dorsey are better than they were under Dable.
but who's going to look at that, right?
Nobody wants to look at it because they hate Dorsey. And I don't love Dorsey, but this is not just a Dorsey thing. I really don't believe it is.
Maybe the drafting of Osiris Torrance, to run, it's a mentality, right? If you
Yep.
listen to any good running lineman, Eric Wood, and they're all around, it's a mentality. And I don't think the Bills' mentality is for a running game. If you really want to get, like, they talk about having the running game stronger. It's not a running game league.
We also didn't build the team that way.
All right, and it's a passing league to run.
That's my point. I think you have to pass the Bills to set up the run. when we try to run to set up the pass, those first down, second down runs, they're nothing. You got to get somebody really worried about that pass, and then you're gonna open holes.
Well, right, and to get a running game like we're kind of being alluded to that McDermott wants, that's a mentality, and that's something that takes, you got to keep pounding it in there. We've seen this line and the line we had last year, which has 3 guys on it, run well at times.
I know.
When there was a mentality. But I think some of it's, I kind of wish the Bills would just go a little more hurry up, play with a little more desperation, number one. Number two, get either out of the shotgun. You can run out of the shotgun, right? But I wish they'd pick one or the other.
It depends on what you do. The whole, I'm in the shotgun, I turn to you, I wait a minute, or wait a few seconds to see if I'm going to keep it or not, give it to you. By that time,
right,
the defensive line's standing next to the running
right.
back. That's number one.
But you got to do one or the other. If Josh only likes the shotgun, then you have to figure out a way to run from that.
Yeah.
Because it's too telegraphic then.
Yeah.
Always understand, here it comes.
I was at the high school game, Lancaster and Bennett Friday night, Tom. The running game for Bennett and Lancaster is the exact kind of running game. Out of the shotgun, put it in the guy's belly, either the quarterback keeps it or doesn't.
Right, a lot of RPO, that's what they do. Right?
Yeah, it's a little fundamental to me. I think we've got to do something there, but anyway.
At the pro level, the Bills need to be a little less predictable. Like
that I'll agree with. So Dorsey, I think the difference between Daboll and Dorsey is Dorsey doesn't have really any tweaks and things that work. I think we are very predictable. I think when we line up, they almost know what we're doing. I don't think that happened with Daboll. And that's the only shot I have against Dorsey.
Well, I think they did too against Daboll at times. But remember
at times, of course.
Remember too, we watch our team, so we kind of get more familiar than the average Joe would,
Yeah.
right? Now, obviously, scouts see the same thing.
Well, the tape, right?
Yeah. But
for example, let me interrupt. I'm so sorry. I watched that ridiculous, horrible Patriots game yesterday from Rhine River. All they had to do to stop that Mac Jones that we didn't do was play press coverage because he could not figure it out. He got sacked. He threw picks. What did we do? We played Mac Wobble Arm Jones 15 yards off the corners. Ridiculous.
Well, and that seems to be the D they want to play, and now a lot of the talk is, anyways, go back to the offense
go ahead.
for a minute. When they get the short, I mean, I think sometimes these coaches need to go home, get a good night's sleep, and have a home cooked dinner.
Absolutely.
They get up to the line, and they put Diggs in behind Gilliam and or McMurray and Allen. What is Diggs doing back there?
What the hell does that do? Except bring somebody else in the box.
I could see if it was out and out speedster. Hardy, I guess, would be our fastest guy, right? Where the chance of a quick pitch going outside would be something, but Diggs isn't that kind of a speedster.
No.
I think they overthink themselves, right?
They
but
do.
I really think the bottom line, it's 1-7. I'm going to say it again. It's what he's seeing. There's a lot of audibleizing stuff going on. I think to blame one guy is everybody wants that. It makes it easier for everybody. Yeah. Oh, it's Daboll or it's
no, it's multifaceted.
And I think McDermott's got his hands in this too. The bottom line, it's Josh, because you watch these games. It's an offensive league. Throw. I don't know sometimes what Josh is seeing. Is he trying to make a play when he doesn't need to? I don't know. I think a lot of it's on Josh. And he had guys open. James Cook catches the ball in the flats. I think he could run wild.
Yeah, he could, and he's done it.
But it's a combination here too, and I blame Sean because they chose to go in a different direction on D.
Yeah.
Now Daquan's out. We do not have that guy. They tried to obtain a guy to replace him. People that have him aren't giving him up. So don't bemoan the fact next year in the draft when Bills take a huge defensive tackle that can plug up the run.
I like that Joseph because Linval Joseph because he's not going to get a pass rush in there. By the time you plug that man in, man, he is stifling in there.
We had the third best pass rush in football earlier in the season, if not maybe the best.
Yeah.
And over time, it's funny, but we didn't get any holding calls against us.
No.
Which means these teams are blocking flawlessly against us.
Absolutely perfect.
And but you can't really sack a quarterback when he's
1-2
pitching
gone.
and throwing.
Well, again, back to what I said again, playing Mac Jones. Ridiculous strategy. By the way, they were saying Russo. We all know this because Russo's a hell of a player. He's stuck at 3 sacks. It's his ankle.
Right.
Because he can't push off of it.
Right. And
I mean, but he's playing through it because he's got it out.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
And Vaughn, guys, injuries. It was last season, I know, but calendar year wise, it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it was Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So he's not 100%, but hopefully when he does, our biggest wish was that the Bills could get into the playoffs
and have everybody healthy.
Now it's going to be a struggle, but it's also the way the league's reffed, and I'm convinced tonight this is going to be a close game.
Oh yeah, I don't think we're going to blow.
The way it's reffed, the way we're playing right now, and weather. It's starting to get windy.
Yep.
That could be a factor. All the games yesterday, it's reffed with the purpose to keep
Coming
these
down to
games
the wire.
close.
Coming to the
And
wire.
Cola can't wait, and all the commercials and stuff. I watched some old tapes of some old football from the 80s on YouTube and stuff. I'm sorry, it was better.
Yeah, it is better because there's not a flag. The
There was
flags,
no,
the sea
there was no
of yellow.
reviews and shit, and the plays were close, and the ref called it in one case incomplete. When they went back and they were looking, it was hard. It wasn't worth arguing
It's
about.
not worth arguing about.
You know, but anyways, the game, and I'm done with Europe and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
But the games are rough. I mean, 10 of the 12 games yesterday came down to what, the final possession or whatever?
Yeah, final possession, and 5 of them came to the last play of the game. A field goal ended it. Yeah, it's tough. Listen, the Bills are gonna. I think they're gonna struggle to make it. I think we know statistically we are playing the toughest schedule remaining of any team in the NFL. If we could stay within a game of Miami, we could win the division on January 7th. But I think it's going to be tough to stay within a game of Miami because every time I look and we're playing a great team, they're playing Sisters of the Poor. So
we also
I don't know.
It all comes down to 1-7. If other teams are going places and beating teams.
They are.
The kid had no problem in Cincinnati yesterday.
C.J. Stroud. Wow.
It comes down to Josh. Take what they give you, and yeah, some of the play calls and some of the stuff he's switching out of. And there was a game. The last game, there was a complete run blitz being shown. He ran into it anyway.
I'll tell you something too. If I see us go, I don't care what down it is, on the 1 yard line going in for a touchdown in the shotgun and hand it off, I might lose my job tonight because that we've tried. I've seen it 3 times and getting crushed for 3 yard losses.
Well, they had a closed door meeting, players and coaches.
I actually like it. People were mocking out the fact that it was Murray. Listen, Murray has a Super Bowl ring. Murray's been around a long time. I don't care that he's not a captain. I think it's great that he pulled guys together and said, "Hey, guys, we're letting this slip away. Let's talk."
Right. Let's go. And you know, and coaches too, get them in there because I don't know. I think they overthink themselves with a lot of this stuff. It's a simple game, and our pitcher is as good as anybody out there.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
It's one of the best that ever lived.
And I'll tell you, in that Cincinnati game too, the slew foot or whatever you want to call it on Kincaid.
Yeah.
And then later on, guys, that Hendrickson who got hurt yesterday, but I'm sure it's nothing serious.
I hope it is. And I never say that, but he's a cheap son of a bitch.
He did the same thing to Josh Allen in the game against the Bengals.
He did twice now. The playoff game and last week.
I'm sorry, these referees. Now in that case it was Buffalo, but you watch these games and you shake your head on some of these calls, and
they're bad.
It's $1 billion business and it's refereed like shit.
And they keep it close. I agree. But that SOB tried to ruin Josh Allen twice now, 2 different games. And I hope he's
Right.
crippled, the little bastard, because he sucks.
Now we go to hockey real quick.
Hockey.
I say the Bills win another close game tonight, and it'll be the stripes will have something to do with it. By the way, the games I was watching yesterday, very rarely saw the referees. But anyways, it's league wide, not just us. But real problem for me is 1-7. Something's not right, and if it's Dorsey that's not right, then goddamn it, switch it.
Yeah.
But Sean, keep your head out of that.
I don't think it. I think it's a big combination.
I do too.
And you listen. Here's one thing I'll say before we go to the Sabres. If you go hurry up the whole game, and you go 3 and out, you're putting so much pressure on this D because we don't have people. We don't have human beings plugged in.
But right now, in all honesty, we need points.
I know.
And we need points, and we need their team. You can't have these other quarterbacks in comfort zones, right? Put the pressure on these guys. We'll get through the D somehow.
He blitzed a lot last week, and they picked up every damn one of them.
Well, they did.
6 guys going, dancing.
Funny.
No
but
holding.
we rushed 3, and we got called for holding.
Yeah.
They rushed 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I cry foul there.
Yeah.
And I also say that our corners back off.
Well, they do.
If you're gonna blitz, then goddamn it,
You got to press.
Make
and
it
I
harder.
said it. I said that. I saw 6 coming. It's at the snap. Here come the 6, and I see our corners backing off. I go, that is the absolute wrong thing to do.
Now they show run blitz against us in the Bengals game. Josh takes the snap. They drop 8 back.
Mhm.
He threw over there and it was picked off. He had a guy standing right there wide open.
Yeah,
Josh,
yeah.
that's on you, dude.
Yeah, I agree. It's hot reading.
It's football, 11 on 11. Nothing's being done out there where they go, holy fuck, what was that?
Yeah, no, it's all been done before. They'll figure
Bills
it
in
out.
a close one tonight.
Yeah, I
let's go.
think. Yeah, we're 7.5 point
And-
favorites.
and
I see us
finally-
by about 4.
Finally, and it goes for the Sabres too. The fans of Buffalo deserve better.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we're everywhere. You hear our fans wherever we go. Hockey, say Bills. Goddamn, we deserve better.
Yeah.
Why does this have to always be the graveyard of genius? You know,
And-
get your heads out of your ass. Let's go.
Let's go.
Great job, Maria. Call the meeting. Hockey.
Yeah, for me, I'm a little more tainted on the Sabres. I bought tickets again. The good news is they're 7-7-1, 500, right in the thick of things in the division and conference. The bad news is I think they're underachieving. And I told my buddy Pete this morning, I said, if they don't make the playoffs, I said, I won't buy tickets again until they do. I'm sick of the Wolf tickets. I'm sick of the whole thing. And I think, personally, that Adams might have to make a move. And I think you can't wait too much longer to get Kulik up here to help that power play.
Yeah, I also think, first off, the real time to worry is in January when the good get going.
Yep.
The Sabres are finding out that they're not being overlooked anymore.
No.
They're getting everybody's best.
We're on everybody's schedule.
Some wacky referee in there too.
Yeah, every
But
game.
the big thing with the Sabres effort, a couple of the latest losses,
Wow.
there's no effort. In the game in Buffalo, I don't know, was it Philly or whatever,
Mhm.
2 shots on goal in a period. This ownership, which gets mocked every turn of the table by
Right.
the local media, and
Right.
gave guaranteed contracts to these guys, paying them a lot now for what they think they can do.
For
You
future.
get 1 shot on goal in a period too. It's unacceptable. And the effort the other night against Pittsburgh,
Was-
those are 40-year-old guys
That's an
that just
ancient
came back
team.
out west,
And our kids couldn't
just
outskate them.
whooped us.
When we come back from out west, Clint, all I hear about is, well, could be a tough night for our Sabres because blah, 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 out west, the travel. Freaking Pittsburgh comes back. Their average age is 31 years old, and that's an average, which means they got some old farts on that team. And they outskated us to every puck.
And to me, as far as the playoffs tonight, that's not going to change my mind, although I want it bad. I think it's a young team. It's got to learn. I want to see more consistency and effort.
Effort is
They're
huge.
being coached
I
correctly.
don't think you can beat us if we give the effort that Schittsburg the other day did and some of those other teams. I don't see how we lose. But Moist, there are sometimes I do not see the effort.
It's a lack of effort. I know, I'm pretty confident Adams is trying to do something.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a little tiny tweak of a trade coming.
Or a big one now. Patty Kane, the whole rumor is that he's down to us and somebody else. Okay, here's what I say about Kane. I'm probably in the minority. The rumor is the Bills are willing to give him a multi-year deal.
The Sabres.
Sorry. I do not give him a multi-year deal. Okay, I saw him last year. He's had the hip fusion surgery. I'm not giving 2-3 year contracts. Not for him. 1 year, period. That's me. Others disagree. I think the way the Sabres get him is they'll have to get him 2 to 3 years, and I think that's a tough use of money. The number being thrown around is $4 million a year, and I think that's too much for a 2-year deal. $8 million.
8 million. If that got him, I have to know a little more about some things, but I don't think that would hold me back when you figure you're going to clear out Oposo. You're not going to have Johnson.
It's not just the money. Here's what I'm worried about. He had the hip fusion surgery. Okay, Nicholas Backstrom just walked away from hockey with the same surgery.
Right.
Okay,
That's what
it's
I
a
mean.
nasty surgery, and what I think is that I think the guy is coming down to the last legs anyway. I think he would be a good role player, a setup guy, and maybe good on the power play, and that would be helpful for $2 to $3 million for 1 year. But I'm a little nervous about multi-year.
Right. I wouldn't go 3. But I'd have to know with our medical staff what the deal is
Yeah,
and
well,
how he healed.
that's exactly right. Obviously,
That if he's back and I got a clean slate, now I don't expect 50 goals a year from him,
no.
but I think he could really help settle some things down and help our power play a little bit.
I would hope so. Now, last year, he probably was half injured. He did not have a good year with the
Yeah,
Rangers.
he was. and still had 14 or 15 goals when he went there. But yeah, he was playing through a lot of pain. It wasn't him. I'd have to know more about that before I'd say that or not. But I think another thing with the Sabres is I think Kulik needs to be up here and playing, and we need Quinn. I mean, we shouldn't say that. What has he ever done here? But our puzzle pieces are off a little bit. We need Tucker back.
Savoy was sent down, but now Benson is hurt. I'd like to see him play a few more games.
I think you will. The plan with Benson is, I think, going right along.
Yeah.
With that, but you know, I'm going to bring it up, Peter. I agree. A trade with Minnesota, a Marcus Foligno back, or a big, strong forward.
Well, if you want to get him back as a big, strong, I'm going to knock your teeth out in the corner guy with hits, I love it. For like a 4th rounder or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, right. We need that because it can't be. We saw what Hathaway did to Cousins.
Yeah.
The way the Sabres play frustrates opponents. We need a guy to answer the frustration.
You're right. And right now it's Greenway and Tuck.
And Greenway and Tuck both had the shoulder surgeries, and you don't want them fighting as much.
No, you don't.
Right?
You don't.
So someone like that could come back. No, not a Rob Ray or a Larry Playfair.
No,
but I mean a guy that could play.
That can play
and finish check. What Foligno did to us the other night physically is what I would love to have back in our lineup.
He pounded the snot on us. Then he got frustrated and actually slammed a guy right near the bench. Now, I wish he wouldn't have done that, and he didn't even get a penalty. So I guess who cares?
The NFL, right? How does Bogosian not get a knee? But anyways, that's what I think with the Sabres. I think the good get going in January.
My question is, what about what the hell? The 11-1-1 the Bruins? What? 11-1-3. Excuse me.
I don't know.
What in the hell? They lost 2 of their best players. They got guys I've never heard of.
I don't know.
What the hell? Are they blessed in that God-blessed pit?
I don't know. I just say again with the fans, we deserve better.
Yeah, we do.
And if the Sabres, for me, could show consistency with effort, and we lose because maybe our goalie's just a little.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm totally happy with that, but I got to see the consistency.
But Pittsburgh, that game,
2 of our last wins.
Yeah.
Goalies robbed both games for us. Which, thank God.
You're right, against Minnesota, because I was at the high school game and I missed it, but I rewatched it.
He saved us at the end.
Oh my God!
Again, some wacky refereeing. I for the life of me, I don't know, but I like where they're going with this team. But I think we're a little tinker away. If it's Kane, I don't know. If it's a Foligno or someone like that.
Something like that, yeah.
We got a little extra on D. I think Ryan Johnson's too good to go back.
I do too.
Samuelson healthy. Maybe a Hokie, are you?
Yeah. Maybe move him out, get somebody.
Yeah, he's good. I like him, but to get something back,
you got to get something.
Minnesota be interested. Edmonton struggling. Could they use a D?
Boy, are they struggling.
You know, is there something there? I don't know. These are just things I'm throwing out there, and I know the way.
I think Adams knows
he knows
there's a need for tinkering.
The only thing I get disappointed about with the Sabres is the consistency and effort.
I know.
That's
one game they go balls to the wall, next game they don't.
You know, it's tough. And the other thing that gets me, 3 guys at the line, Carolina.
Oh, Jesus.
Why does that confuse us?
We won't dump.
Why don't we? And I'll tell you what.
Dump and go balls
I know
to the
because
wall.
the NHL's gone to guaranteed contracts, but I would love to say, I'll find somebody in there that can.
Yeah.
I'll get somebody in there that can go get the puck.
Yeah.
And it's all our guys in that game. I'm not going to single out
right.
anybody.
You're right. Nobody.
And the stick handling through a wall, that's ridiculous. Make them turn and
That
go.
power play makes me sick. They can't get in, and they refuse to get there and dump it and go. And I don't mean just dump it. I mean dump it and get on your
go
horse.
To work and play smart.
Jeez.
And you can say, well, we don't have a guy in front. We don't have that. We only get 30 seconds in the zone.
There's nothing.
We didn't have enough shots on goal against that aging Schittsburg team to even beat them.
Not even close.
And that was
everything we had,
me.
Tom, was
they
all
are
outside.
Old. If we play balls to the wall against them, they can't keep
They
up
crumble.
with us.
They can't. And literally, the Jerry, Tristan Jerry, that might have been the easiest shutout I've seen. Everything was perimeter. I didn't see anything that made any help.
Not enough guys going, and not enough guys going. That's all I can tell you. And but that with them, I still have hope. They're
I
fun,
have hope.
But goddamn it, guys,
just play hard. Let's see what you got.
And you know, and in both cases, I brought this up in an earlier show and bring it up again. Get a goddamn psychiatrist out there.
Exactly.
Why can't you play at home? Josh, what's wrong? Is it the girlfriend? Is it whatever?
Yeah.
By the way, never mind.
By the way, why don't you have the NFL shield on your military?
I won't buy it with the NFL shield.
No. A little protest of that asshole from
Jamestown.
Jamestown.
To wrap up quick, elections came and went, and much to our
see you blue.
See it blue.
Nice going,
I guess
everybody.
everybody likes it.
Yeah. Great country.
Cars wins again. Well, they didn't throw anybody against them. They could have voted the guy under the bridge to replace what this moron's been doing.
Yeah.
But and he's guys. They're hypocrites. They're feed them cake. Do not what I do. You do what I say, not what I'm doing.
That's right.
And I can't vote for a guy like that. And now the gas taxes are removed. Well, you voted him back.
Well, he didn't do it yet, but he's threatening.
The crime is rampant, and the town, we went Democratic again, and we got a no chase policy here. It's horrible.
Yeah, I was very, very disappointed to see a sea of blue. Now, New York State, we know that's happening because this is a shithole. We give everybody whatever they want for free. But I'm looking at Virginia and some places that have been red, and they're just voting in Democrats everywhere. It makes me sick to my stomach. Can you really look outside today and say, this is a better world for me, my children, and my grandchildren? I think you're lying to yourself.
What really gets me more than anything, people vote. The most important thing, our borders are wide open, we're being invaded, and we're being invaded.
Oh, yeah.
The inflation's ridiculous. Starter homes at $500,000.
Yeah.
Crime rampant. Not incarcerating. George Soros backed DAs everywhere. What concerns people the most? Abortion. In Ohio now you can abort it the day it's born. It's unheard of. There's a lack of morality. Get a goddamn condom. They had a young girl on. She goes, well, you don't understand. I have 2 kids, and if I get pregnant again, first off, I don't know if the father's going to be a good dad, and
oh my God,
and the money and how many jobs I have to work. Then how about a condom?
Yeah, close your legs.
All right, but if that's the case, why do I got to pay for your fucking abortion?
I really think that.
And they run around the streets, hey, President Biden, how many babies you're killing today? Fuck, you voted in baby killers.
Yeah, my issue with it too is the Republicans. I don't want abortion. Okay, the Republicans, but a recent poll said only 11% of Americans think abortion should be illegal. Republicans, take that and use it, will you? Will you come up with a strategy that's not so hard line? Because guess what? You're going to lose. And if you lose the presidency to that schmuck next year, this country is done.
And I'm not either way on abortion, right? That's a lady's right. I do think there should be some type of morality standard involved.
Yeah. And maybe
aborting because it's a girl is wrong.
Is absurd. And,
right?
and maybe it's the first 30 days. I don't care.
And guys, but it's whites that are aborting.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
the blacks get them to get money.
Well, no, but they treat it differently though. I mean, in the Spanish, Hispanic and stuff, they treat the whites. We're getting away from morality, and guys, there's a push to get rid of us. Would you ever think that members of Congress would support an organization that kills white people and Christianity?
People, Christians, gay, trans.
Now,
that's what the Hamas is against.
You're a young kid growing up in Israel. You have dreams to become maybe a doctor, a lawyer, whatever. Israel produced a vaccine for the Fauci disease.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Let's take a look at Hamas. A young kid in Hamas grows up wanting to be a suicide bomber.
Yeah.
Let's look at the advances in what Hamas has brought to us. And by the way, they were voted in. Hamas was voted in. No, they weren't.
Palestinians voted them in.
Professor Motorboat's not telling you the truth.
Motorboat.
The Hamas was voted in. We give billions of aid to them too. What do they do with it? They build underground
tunnels,
passages for their warriors. Their words, not mine.
Yeah, warriors.
But let's look at some of the advances Hamas has brought us. Okay. They grow up wanting to kill all whites and Christians.
Yeah.
But some of the advances, you now know, doctors now know, a beheading where to start from, where to instantaneously to kill. We didn't know that before Hamas.
Before Hamas,
hand gliding. They've come to new standards with their hand gliding. No.
So when you hit the ground, it explodes.
Israel's been out of there for 20 years. They left beautiful buildings and agricultural things there. Hamas took over and burned that all to the ground. They want to live in yesterday's news.
Yep.
The leaders, and if you don't think Hamas is any good, don't take mine and his advice. Listen to the son of the leader of Hamas. He got out of it because they're nuts. Yep. He wrote a book, and if they could get near him, they'd kill him. He's over here, living here.
Yep.
And where are the leaders of Hamas? Well, they're in Qatar, running the whole thing from Qatar.
Because they're afraid. They don't want to get bombed either.
But yet we're told over here they're freedom fighters. All right? Freedom fighters. The last freedom fighter we had over here was Lady Godiva. And she didn't care if the whole world saw. If you don't believe me,
she was a freedom fighter.
Streisand sang that song, right?
Really? I don't
Lady Godiva was a freedom fighter. She didn't care if the whole world saw.
Yeah,
look it up.
That wasn't really.
Look it up.
Streisand. That was no. Lady Godiva, children at your breast.
That was the Beatles.
Yeah.
But
That was Lady Madonna.
Was it? Anyways,
Not Godiva.
no, freedom fighters. And these kids are protesting, and the college campuses, they're going after these Jewish kids. They're threatening them.
Yeah, this is bad.
And when they interview, one guy had a shirt on, Hamas rules, and he had all this stuff, and signed my petition. Oh, these young kids are coming up. Yeah, I'll sign. Well, first, before you sign, just want to make sure you agree with everything. Hamas is against all whites and Christianity. What?
Huh?
Women, you can't wear that. You have to cover up. You can only wear certain things, and you can only go anywhere without without father's permission or husband's permission. What?
Yeah. They kill transvestites and gays. Okay. So what? But that's what's in
I'm
America
not going to sign
now.
your petition. And they're protesting. Now, Colombia wanted to do something with their Palestinian group, but they don't want to throw them out of school because they'll be deported. They don't even belong in the goddamn country.
Then they don't belong here.
There's more people protesting here in support of Hamas in the goddamn streets of Iran. And the only people that go in Iran are at gunpoint. These are murderers. What are we doing here? Where is Christianity? Where Satan is rampant.
Satan is here.
Natos. Lady Cadet was a freedom fighter. They're freedom fighters. Why do they kill babies?
Why was she nude?
She didn't care if the whole world saw. I don't know why she did. She did it. She's riding some horse there with her. They going along there.
Yeah, but
gotta be a horse.
Anyway,
they say. But I'll tell you what. I don't know.
You got to calm down. We got to wrap this up.
Satan is rampant. When you can go to New York now and they take their hands in red ink, put it all over and the face, everything, no charges. But a guy pulled out his gun on the platform in that shit subway, fired in the air to stop a girl from getting beat up. They arrested him. And the girl said, "I'm glad he came, but why a weapon?"
Why a weapon?
Well, honey,
because if he doesn't have a weapon, comes in to help you, he's knifed or shot.
Because these fucks are so loaded up on dope that hand-to-hand combat ain't cutting it, sister. Professor Motorboat won't tell you that either.
I had a Professor Motorboat once, but I didn't want him to touch me.
We all did at one time. But no, it's ridiculous. But Satan is rampant.
Well, listen, we got to cut this show. I got to go. I'm an usher. I got to go to the Bills game. Okay.
Tim, wearing this in honor of you because this was Miller, baby.
Oh yeah, Miller. Geez, tight end.
Who's the other guy that wore 40 here?
Tight end sucked.
The Oklahoma running back. Oh, Terry Miller. Terry Miller wore 40. There you go.
Why don't you just put Miller on the back?
Well, it is. And J.D. Hill also wore 40. But my favorite 40 is probably Eddie Rakowski.
Mine was J.D. Sorry.
Guys, anyways, that was quick. To the point.
We're back. It took a while. Hopefully you'll watch. We'll talk to you soon. Bills game tonight. I say Bills by 4. Going to be tight.
Bills and nail biter, and watch for the crucial call.
Yeah, watch for the crucial call, the pass interference.
Intentional grounding when
holding.
A guy goes out and he goes
defense. Straight. Number 47. No, he's out today, actually, Benson. All right. We'll talk later.
Talk to you soon.
Or Benson. Benford. What's wrong
I can't get those two names straight. There's a lot.
What's wrong? There's a lot wrong with me. We can't even touch on it.
Okay,
guys.
The only thing I retain is water.
Have a good one, boys.
Jimmy!